Uncle Luke reads Bluey, Grannies. Janet and Rita are heading to the shops. Oh no. Here come the grannies! The grannies cause chaos in Mum's corner store. Rita forgets to pay for her beans again. Wake up, Janet, says Mum. Just having a nap, love. Rita makes a run for it, but slips on her beans. I slipped on my beans! Bingo jumps up giggling and begins to floss. But Bluey doesn't think grannies can floss. Yeah, they can, replies Bingo. They ask Mum who is right. Mum sighs. Ask your father. They find Dad in the bathroom and blocking the stinky toilet. How should I know if grannies floss? He tells him. Go ask your Nana. Of course. Bluey and Bingo call Nana. If she can floss, then Bingo's right. But if she can't, Bluey's right. Nana's ears answer. Down, Nana. Then her feet. Up, Nana. Then her eyeball. Back, Nana, back. Nana's not great with screens and things, but finally she works it out. Oh, hi, girls. Nana, can you do the flossing dance? Asks Bingo. Well, I'll give it a go, says Nana. She wibbles and wobbles and flaps her arms around. Bobba joins her and starts to dance too, kicking his legs out to the sides. It's dancing all right, but it's not flossing. I was right, yells Bluey. Grannies can't floss. Yes! Bluey wants to carry on playing, but Bingo doesn't feel like being a granny anymore. Bluey doesn't understand why and stomps off. Mum suggests Bluey ask herself if she wants to be right or if she wants the game to keep going, because sometimes you can't have both. But Bluey thinks she can. I know. She makes another call. Nana, you're going to learn how to floss. It's time to teach this old dog a new trick. Here we go. When Bluey is done, she surprises Bingo. Oh, Grannies can floss, shouts Bingo. Yeah, I was wrong, says Bluey with a smile. Thanks, Bluey, says Bingo. Thanks, Nana. You're welcome, Bingo. Let's play Grannies, says Bluey. Lovely day for a drive, wouldn't you say, Rita? Sure is, Janet. Beep, beep. I'm going to put these wet clothes on. Whoa. Nice parking spot, Rita. Rita and Janet might not be the best drivers, but they sure know how to floss. And that's the way more fun. Silly me. And that's way more fun than being right. Ooh, let's see if I can make this floss for you. You ready? Woo! Uncle Luke reads Room on the Broom. The witch had a cat and a very tall hat, and long ginger hair which she wore in a plait. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off the hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then, out of the bushes on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I'm a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, click, click, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forests they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed aloud and held on to her hat. Oh, but her away blew the bow from her long ginger plait. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then, out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her plait in a bow, "I am bird, as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me?" "Yes," cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, tip-tip, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. "Down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then, all of a sudden, from out of a pond leapt a dripping wet frog with the dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, "I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me?" "Yes," said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, tip-tip, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy. And the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. "I am a dragon as mean as can be, and I'm planning to have a witch and chips for my tea." "No!" cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. "Help!" cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew nearer and, licking his lips, said, "Maybe this once I'll have witch without chips." But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, "Buzz off, that's my witch." Roar! The dragon drew back and he started to shake. "I'm sorry," he spluttered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and phew, said the dog. And "Thank you, oh thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside." Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone, throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Ickety-zickety-zackety-zoom! Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a shower for the frog. "Yes!" cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, clip, clip, and whoosh, they were gone. Uncle Luke reads The Very Noisy Bear. In the jingle jangle jungle, there was music in the air, and it landed in the ears of a very sleepy bear. Excuse me, said the bear to the music-making sheep. Your band is very noisy, and it's time for me to sleep. Now that you're awake, said Sheep, perhaps you'd like to stay. Have you ever tried the jungle drums? They're really fun to play. Lion was on the jungle drums, and Bear began to smile. I suppose if I could play the drums, I'd stay a little while. He sat upon the tiny stool. Boom, bang, bash. Boom went the noisy bear. Boom, bang, crash. It's harder than it looks, said Lion, to play a jungle drum. You might prefer an instrument. You only have to strum. Zebra had a striped guitar. She handed it to Bear. You hold it over here, she said, and strum it over there. Bear started strumming softly. Then he strummed a little more. Then he started strumming wildly with his massive strumming paw. But his claws were long and curly, and they tangled in the strings. Never mind, said Zebra. Guitars are tricky things. Moose held up his trumpet. Would you like to have a go? All you have to do, he said, is take a breath and blow. Bear took in a giant breath and blew with all his might. The trumpet made a screeching noise, and all the birds took flight. The elephants stampeded, and all the monkeys left. Everyone took cover until Bear was out of breath. Your lungs are awfully strong, said Sheep. You must be very proud. But there is another instrument that isn't quite as loud. Have you ever tried a microphone? It's just a simple thing. You only have to hold it up, clear your throat, and sing. She handed Bear the microphone and counted up to 4. The band began to play a tune, and Bear began to roar. Roar went the noisy bear. Roar, roar, roar. More, cheered the audience. More, more, more. The elephants were dancing and the monkeys sang along. He roared in perfect harmony through every single song. Then when the show was over and the moon had settled in, when everyone was fast asleep, he tried the violin. Uncle Luke reads A Mouse Called Julian. G'day, Julian. Julian had lived on his own for as long as he could remember, and that was the way he liked it. All the animals above ground tried to eat him, and all the animals below ground got in his way. So he made sure to avoid everyone. He knew how to dodge the rabbits, the moles, and the badgers. He knew where to hide from the farmer and her dog. He knew which branch to leap across whee, to escape the hungry barn owl and get home safe. Oh, but Julian didn't know that he was being watched. That night, the fox crept up to Julian's house and, using all of his skill and cunning, smashed right through Julian's front window. Psh! The fox bared his teeth and howled and growled, but he couldn't quite reach Julian. The fox was well and truly stuck. Pardon me, but would you be so kind as to help me out? Asked the fox. Help you? Yelped Julian. You just tried to eat me. Of course I didn't. I was simply popping in to see if you were okay, lied the fox. I'm not okay at all. Your big head is in my house, said Julian. Well, if you help me, I promise you will never see me or my big head again, pleaded the fox. Julian didn't want a fox in his house, so he went to help. He pulled the fox's tail, pushed his nose, honk, and wiggled his ears, wiggle, wiggle. But the fox wouldn't budge. When it got to dinner time, Julian couldn't bear to watch the fox's sad, hungry eyes, so he shared what he had, and they talked and ate long into the night. The fox thought it was much nicer to eat dinner with Julian than to eat him for dinner, and Julian thought that having a guest wasn't so terrible. The next day, Julian tried a new plan, and with a bit of effort, thump, the fox popped free. "Thank you," said the fox as he disappeared back into the woods. Then Julian was back on his own again, just the way he'd always liked it. He dodged the rabbits, the moles, and the badgers. He hid from the farmer and her dog. But he missed the branch to escape the barn owl. It looked like Julian wasn't going to get home safe this time. Woo! But Julian didn't know that he was being watched. The fox crept up and, using all of his skill and cunning, wink, gobbled Julian right up. The barn owl thought about having a fight, but changed his mind. The fox waited and then opened his mouth. "Well," said the fox. "Pardon?" said a soggy Julian. The fox put Julian down. "Now we are even," he smiled. After that, the fox and Julian still liked to keep to themselves. But every now and then, Julian had a friend over for dinner. Uncle Luke reads The Gruffalo. Oh, here we go. A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. "Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house." "It's terribly kind of you, fox, but no, I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo." "A Gruffalo? What is a Gruffalo?" "A Gruffalo! Why, didn't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws." "Where are you meeting him?" "Here, by these rocks, and his favourite food is roasted fox." "Roasted fox? I'm off," Fox said. "Goodbye, little mouse," and away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? On went the mouse through the deep, dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. "Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my treed-up house." "It's frightfully nice of you, owl, but no, I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo." "A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo?" "A Gruffalo! Why, didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned-out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose." "Where are you meeting him?" "Here, by this stream, and his favourite food is owl ice cream." "Owl ice cream? To which, to who? Goodbye, little mouse." And away owl flew. Silly old owl, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? On went the mouse through the deep, dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. "Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house." "It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no, I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo." "A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo?" "A Gruffalo! Why, didn't you know? His eyes are orange, his tongue is black, he has purple prickles all over his back." "Where are you meeting him?" "Here, by this lake, and his favourite food is scrambled snake." "Scrambled snake? It's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse." And away snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Gruffalo? Oh, but who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned-out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange, his tongue is black, he has purple prickles all over his back. Oh, help! Oh, no! It's a Gruffalo! My favourite food," the Gruffalo said. "You'll taste good on a slice of bread." good, said the mouse. Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this wood. Just walk behind me and soon you'll see. Everyone is afraid of me. All right, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You go ahead and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the leaves ahead. It's Snake, said the mouse. Why, Snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, crumbs, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he slid to his log pile house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoot in the trees ahead. It's Owl, said the mouse. Why, Owl, hello. Owl took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he flew to his treetop house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I can hear feet on the path ahead. It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he ran to his underground house. Well, Gruffalo, said the mouse, you see, everyone is afraid of me. But now my tummy's beginning to rumble. My favourite food is Gruffalo crumble. Gruffalo crumble, the Gruffalo said, and quick as the wind he turned and fled. All was quiet in the deep dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. Uncle Luke reads, Mr. Brown Can Moo, can you? Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. He can go like a cow. He can go moo-moo. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? He can go like a bee. Mr. Brown can buzz. How about you? Can you go buzz-buzz? He can go like a cock. Pop, 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 pop. He can go like horse feet. Clop, clop, clop. He can go eek, eek like a squeaky shoe. He can go like a rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. He can go like an owl. Hoo, 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 hoo. Eek, 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 eek. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Hoo, 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 hoo. How about you? He can go like the rain. Dibble, 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 dop. Dibble, 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 dop, dop, dop. He can go like a train. Choo, 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 choo. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? Mr. Brown can whisper, whisper, very soft, very high, like the soft, soft whisper of a butterfly. Maybe you can too. I think you ought to try. He can go like a horn, blup, 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 like a big cat drinking, slurp, slurp, slurp. He can go like a clock. He can tick, he can talk. He can go like a hand on a door. Knock, knock. Tick tock, knock, knock, knock. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Blurp, blurp, slurp, slurp, cock-a-doodle-doo. Knock, 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 and hoo, hoo, hoo. He can even sizzle, sizzle. He can do that too. Like an egg in a frying pan. How about you? Mr. Brown is smart, as smart as they come. He can do a hippopotamus chewing gum. Grum, 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 grum. Oh, Mr. Brown is so smart, he can even do this. He can even make a noise like a goldfish kiss. Whoop! Boom, 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 Mr. Brown is a wonder. Boom, 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 Mr. Brown makes thunder. He makes lightning, splat, splat, splat. And it's very, very hard to make a noise like that. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Grum, 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 choo, choo, choo. Boom, boom, splat, splat, tick, tick, tock. Sizzle, sizzle, blurp, blurp, knock, knock, knock. A slurp and a whisper and a fish kiss too. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? Ho, that was fun. Uncle Luke reads, not another unicorn book. Yes, it is another one. Gah, not another unicorn book. They're everywhere. Here's a unicorn bookshop and a magic rainbow. A book in Bookshop Valley. Another unicorn bookshop. Unicorns, unicorns, unicorns. Unicorns everywhere. Who wants to read about sparkles and rainbows and flowers and fun anyway? Not me. Where's the action? The adventure? I would never, ever be in a unicorn book. Oh, never. Oh no, wait a minute. Sparkles? Rainbows? Flowers? Fun? I am in a unicorn book. Okay. I need to calm down. I shouldn't panic. So, what if I am? I can fix this. I just need to get out. Out of my way, sunshine. Move over, rainbow. Farewell, flowers. I'm breaking free. Bye. It's never ending. How can I escape? Think. Aha! 3, 2, 1. Sparkly sprinkles. Help! I'm stuck in a unicorn book. Wait a minute. Wait. I can eat my way out. Jump. There we go. Oh no. Unicorn poo. Poo-wee. Spin. Dodge that poo. That was not a unicorn dance, in case you were wondering. I think I've done it. I've never seen rain in a unicorn book. Hurrah! Wait a minute. That's not just rain. It's glitter rain. Run for it. Thank goodness that's over. Who knew I'd ever be so happy to see sunshine? Hold on. Sunshine and rain together? Oh no. That means a rainbow! Let me out! I've done it! I've really done it! Free from the unicorn book at last. No glitter, no cupcakes, no sparkly poo. Quiet, dark, all alone. Hold on. Am I alone? Eyes. Boo. I think that's enough adventure for today. Let me back in that unicorn book. Sparkles and rainbows and cupcakes. And friends. Maybe being in another unicorn book isn't so bad after all. Oh, look at all the happiness. It looks so good. Uncle Luke reads Rumble in the Jungle. There's a rumble in the jungle. There's a whisper in the trees. The animals are waking up and rustling the leaves. The hippo's at the waterhole. The leopard's in his lair. The chimpanzees are chattering and swinging everywhere. Some animals are frightening and some are sweet and kind. So let's go to the jungle now and see who we can find. chimpanzee. It's great to be a chimpanzee swinging through the trees, and if we can't find nuts to eat, we munch each other's fleas. Lion. Arr. The lion's the king of the jungle. Just listen how loudly he roars. Every animal quivers and shudders and shivers as soon as he opens his jaws. Elephant. It's great to be an elephant, all big and fat and round, and wander through the jungle just elephing around. Zebra. There's a zebra. I could have been grey like a donkey or brown like my cousin the mule, but instead I've got stripes which my lady friend likes as they make me look handsome and cool. Snake. The snake says, "Huss." The boa constrictor's a slippery snake who slithers and slides around his tree. And when tasty animals wander too close, he squashes them slowly for tea. Giraffe. Some animals laugh at the gangly giraffe, but I hold my head up and feel proud. I really don't care when my head's in the air and my cheek's getting kissed by a cloud. Hippopotamus. Hello, I'm a big happy hippo. I sleep in the sun to get hot. And when I'm not sleeping, I mooch in the mud, which hippos like doing a lot. Crocodile. Snap, snap. When animals come to the river to drink, I watch for a minute or two. It's such a delight to behold such a sight that I can't resist chomping a few. Rhinoceros. The ravenous rhino is big, strong and tough, but his skin is all baggy and flappy, which means that there's plenty of room for his lunch, and that makes him terribly happy. Gazelle. No one can run half as quickly as me, the galloping gorgeous gazelle. I can leap up so high that my horns touch the sky, and I'm awfully pretty as well. Woohoo! Gorilla. He thumps his chest, thump, thump. The gorilla is big, black and hairy, and the thing that he likes to do best is to look all ferocious and scary and wallop his giant great chest. Leopard. Wow. If you meet a hungry leopard prowling through the night, make sure you call him sir and be incredibly polite. Tiger. Rawr. Beware of the terrible tiger. You don't always know when he's near, but his eyes shine like lights through the blackest of nights, and his growl makes you tremble with fear. The night has started falling, but the jungle never sleeps. The vulture circles slowly while the leopard softly creeps. And if you listen quietly, you might just hear the growl of a hungry pair of panthers who are still out on the prowl. The lions and their little cubs are sleeping in their den, so let's leave them till tomorrow when we'll visit them again. Uncle Luke reads Dharma the Llama. Have you met Dharma? G'day, Dharma. Dharma's a llama. She likes picking flowers and reading for hours and hours and hours. Dharma lives with a herd who thinks she's absurd because, as you can see, she does things differently. When the herd all wake up, cock-a-doodle-doo, Dharma says, nup. When the herd says good night, Dharma turns on her light. They go high, and she goes bye. While they're stampeding, Dharma's reading. She doesn't see their dirty looks, so happy buried in her books, caught up in the pleasure of searching for treasure, or with an alien race in deep outer space, or riding broomsticks doing magic tricks. One particular day, in their typical way, The herd were all jeering and were too busy sneering to notice the sign. Caution, steep drop. And so in a line they fell with a thud in a big pit of mud. Flop, flop. Ah! We're stuck in this muck. It's icky and yuck. Dharma heard them all yelp and rushed there to help. From the books she had read, a plan formed in her head. Ding! She swung in with a smile, dashing pirate style, and pulled out a lot, shouting, X marks the spot! Dharma's next resort, like an astronaut, was a dazzling exhibition of weightless rescue mission. And then finally, on a branch in the tree, Dharma's last rescue trick? No, it wasn't magic. A ladder made from rope was the llama's only hope. Dharma knew what to do. She read non-fiction too. The last llamas climbed out and were left with no doubt. It sure pays to read, they all had to concede. For being such a smarty, they threw Dharma a big party. Thanks, Dharma, you're the best. But she skipped the grand proceeding. She was far too busy reading. Uncle Luke reads Sir Scaly Pants, the Dragon Knight. Oh! Sir Kindly Heart was riding home from being bold and brave when his horse tripped on a dragon's egg abandoned in a glade. When the egg began to crack, the knight thought, this looks bad. But a little dragon's head popped out, puffed smoke and gargled, Dad? Now, since Sir Kindly had no child, he took the dragon home and asked his lady wife if they could raise him as their own. His scales were hard, his claws were sharp, but Lady Kindly knew that she would love him as her own, however big he grew. They taught young Scaly lessons, and the very first he learned was that breathing fire was not allowed in case someone got burnt, just like his teddy bear here. They packed the little fellow off to night school in a wagon, with fingers crossed that no one would be beastly to their dragon. 3 nasty student knights who liked being mean and cruel did everything they could to make it hard for him at school. They picked the nickname Scaly Pants and tried to bully him, but words like arrows bounced right off his thick green dragon's skin. He studied hard for many years, learned how to ride and fight, till he graduated as the one and only Dragon Knight. He made one very special friend and held that friendship dear. The plucky little horse he rode, the filly Guinevere. Hey! One day, a ghastly giant chanced upon their peaceful land. He stomped through town, knocked buildings down, grabbed cows in either hand. He stuffed his pockets full of geese, drained barrels dry of beer, ate anyone who crossed his path, and burped, "I like it here." The people cried, "Oh, help us, please!" and ran to beg the king, "Your Majesty, please send a knight to save us from this thing." The king said, "All you knights must go. Consider it a test. The knight who beats the giant, I'll proclaim to be the best." The nasty knights raced on ahead, each on a mighty steed, with Scaly trailing far behind at a somewhat slower speed. When he arrived, the nasty knights were tied tight to a tree. They stopped their blumming and cried out, "Oh, Scaly, set us free!" They begged him, "Don't forsake us. We've always been your friends. Please, don't leave your pals to such a ghastly, gruesome end." The giant stomped towards him. Its breath was rank and rotten, its red beard filled with bits of food from dinners long forgotten. It bent down, belched, and picked a pound of boogie from its nose. He flicked it at Scaly, scoffing. You're the hero, I suppose. He grabbed poor Scaly's bony leg with a giant hairy limb, then took a sniff and licked his lips and promptly swallowed him. But Gwynny ran to save him, and between the giant's feet, she found the sword that Scaly dropped and grabbed it with her teeth. She jabbed the giant in his toe. Poke! He jumped and gave a shout. His slimy mouth gaped open wide, and Scaly plopped right out. As Scaly fell, he grabbed a rope, and what a stroke of luck! It was the one that held the giant's stinky trousers up. Like a circus tent collapsing, his trousers hit the floor, and with a blush, he pulled them up and shouted, "This means war!" He chased them to the edge of town. They nearly got away, but when Scaly yelled, "Go faster, Gwen!" she fell and panted, "Nay!" Scaly drew his sword and stood there ready to defend, but the giant swatted him away and grabbed his little friend. "I wish I'd time," the giant said, "to grind her bones for bread, but the chase has left me peckish, and it's time that I was fed." His mouth was gaping wide and dark. "This is it," thought Gwynny. She put her head between her hooves and gave a little whinny. But Scaly wasn't beaten. There was one last thing to try. He knew Mummy wouldn't like it, but his best friend couldn't die. He drew the deepest breath he could and carefully took aim, then blasted out a never-ending stream of dragon flame. "Me bum's on fire!" the giant shrieked. His underpants were smoking, and since he hadn't washed for months, the smell had Scaly choking. The giant leapt into a lake, which turned to clouds of steam, then legged it sharpish from the realm, and never more was seen. The news of Scaly's triumph quickly spread throughout the land, till he knelt before the king, who stood with regal sword in hand. He said, "Arise, Sir Scaly Pants. You've proved you have the right to call yourself my champion and the bravest dragon knight." So that is how Sir Scaly and his little horse found glory and started their adventures. But that's another story. Uncle Luke reads Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Out of the gate and off for a walk went Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. And Hercules Morse, as big as a horse. With Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Bottomly pots covered in spots, Hercules Morse as big as a horse, and Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Muffin Maclay like a bundle of hay, bottomly pots covered in spots, Hercules Morse as big as a horse, and Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Bits of Maloney, all skinny and bony, Muffin Maclay like a bundle of hay, bottomly pots covered in spots, Hercules Morse as big as a horse. And Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Schnitzel von Crumb with a very low tum, bits of Maloney all skinny and bony, Muffin Maclay like a bundle of hay, bottomly pots covered in spots, Hercules Morse as big as a horse, and Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. With tails in the air they trotted on down, past the shops in the park to the far end of town. They sniffed at the smells and they snooped at each door, when suddenly, out of the shadows they saw Scarface Claw, the toughest Tom in town. Said Scarface Claw. Off with a yell, a wail and a howl, a scatter of paws and a clatter of claws, when Schnitzel von Crumb with a very low tum, Bits and Maloney all skinny and bony, Muffin Maclary like a bundle of hay, Bottomley Potts covered in spots, Hercules Morse as big as a horse, and Harry Maclary from Donaldson's Dairy. Straight back home to bed. Huh. Uncle Luke reads The Who's Whonicorn of Unicorns. Ha ha ha! In the beginning, there was only one single unicorn in the whole wide universe. He was called Unicorn because he was very new. He was also very lonely. So, Tunicorns were invented too. Tunicorns went everywhere in twos. Until Funicorns were invented as well. Before long, there were unicorns everywhere. Unicorns of all shapes and sizes. Baby unicorns were called Goonicorns. Bluenicorns were blue. Maroonicorns were maroon. Any colour you like, it's up to unicorns, were any colour or colours they wanted to be. All unicorns loved having their hair done. The ones that did the hair washing were called shampoonicorns. The ones who did the hair cutting were called hairdoonicorns. Canoonicorns lived on the river. They went everywhere by canoe. Living on the river was really good fun, unless there was a harpoonicorn hiding in the reeds trying to get you. Chunk. Balloonicorns had to watch out for the harpoonicorns too. Lunicorns lived down the loo. Smelly lunicorns were called poonicorns. The really smelly ones were called stinky poonicorns. Most unicorns weren't smelly at all. The scariest unicorns were called boonicorns. Boonicorns hid behind trees and jumped out on other unicorns all the time. Moonicorns only came out at night, and full moonicorns only came out when there was a full moon. The clumsiest unicorns were called bumping-toonicorns. Bumping-toonicorns bumped into things everywhere they went. They were always covered in plasters and bruises. Cuckoo-unicorns lived in clocks and went cuckoo all day and night. Loopy-lunicorns had a horn on their bottom instead of their head. Boo to you two. Invisible unicorns were called see-through-unicorns. Sometimes see-through-unicorns would creep up on boonicorns and make them jump too. The happiest unicorns were called Yahoo-unicorns. The unhappiest were called Boo-hoo-unicorns. Their best friends were called Tissue-unicorns. The best unicorn fighters were called Kung Fu-unicorns. Kung Fu-unicorns were black belts in everything. Punicorns were really weedy. Gluunicorns stuck together. Super Gluunicorns really stuck together. Unicorns who ate really hot curry were called Vindalunicorns. Unicorns who preferred stew were called Stewnicorns. Unicorns who liked cheese were called Fondoonicorns. Yummy. How do you do, unicorns were very polite. Thank you, unicorns were very grateful. After unicorns had really good manners, after unicorns had even better manners. Cunicorns loved standing in long lines. Snooker cunicorns were really good at playing snooker, and pool cunicorns were really good at playing pool. Nothing to do unicorns got bored really easy. Hullaballoonicorns were really noisy. Unicorns who lived on the top of really high mountains were called Look at that Unicorns. Gruunicorns never stopped growing. They just grew and grew and grew until, bang, they exploded. The end. Unless you can think of some more. Can you think of some more unicorn names? Uncle Luke reads The Gruffalo's Child. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep, dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long, long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute and scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. One snowy night when the Gruffalo snored, the Gruffalo's child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. Into the wood went the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! A trail in the snow! Whose is this trail and where does it go? A tail poked out of a log pile house. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Out slid the creature. His eyes were small, and he didn't have whiskers, no, none at all. You're not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake, eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast, and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks? Where do they go? Two eyes gleamed out of a treetop house. Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Down flew the creature. His tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. To who? Not I. But he's somewhere nearby eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! A track in the snow. Whose is this track and where does it go? Whiskers at last and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? Out slunk the creature. His eyes weren't fiery. His tail wasn't scaly. His whiskers weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh no, not me. He's under a tree drinking Gruffalo tea. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child as she sat on a stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. But here comes a little one out of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good as a midnight feast. Wait, said the mouse, before you eat, there's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you'll let me hop onto a hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend so bad and big. The Gruffalo's child unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse, so he does exist. The mouse hopped into the hazel tree. He beckoned and said, just wait and see. Out came the moon. It was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell onto the ground. Who is this creature so big, bad and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. The big bad mouse, yelled the Gruffalo's child. The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled. Aha! Oh-ho! Prints in the snow. Whose are these footprints? Where do they go? The footprints led to the Gruffalo cave, where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave. The Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored? And the Gruffalo snored and snored and snored.
Uncle Luke reads The Cat in the Hat, but Mr. Cat in the Hat is going to have a little twist of Aussie bogan. The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally, we sat there we two, and I said how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball, so we sat in the house, we did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit, and we did not like it, not one little bit. And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked and we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny." "I know some good games we could play," said the cat. "I know some new tricks," said the cat in the hat. "A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do." Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, "No, no, make that cat go away. Tell that cat in the hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out." Now, have no fear, said the cat. "My tricks are not bad," said the cat in the hat. "Why, we can have lots of good fun if you wish, with a game that I call Up with a Fish." "Put me down," said the fish. "This is no fun at all. Put me down," said the fish. "I do not wish to fall." "Have no fear," said the cat. "I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. But that is not all I can do," said the cat. "Look at me. Look at me now," said the cat, "with a cup and a cake on the top of my hat. I can hold up 2 books. I can hold up the fish and a little toy ship and some milk on a dish. And look, I can hop up and down on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me. Look at me, look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold a toy ship and a little toy man. And look, with my tail, I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all." That is what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball, and Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said, "Do I like this? No, I do not. This is not a good game," said our fish as he lit. "No, I do not like it, not one little bit." "Now look what you did," said the fish to the cat. "Now look at this house, look at this, look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house and you bent down, you rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house," said the fish in the pot. "But I like to be here." "Oh, I like it a lot," said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot. "I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so," said the cat in the hat, so, I will show you another good game that I know." And then he ran out. And then, fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box, a big red wood box. It was shut with a hook. "Now look at this trick," said the cat. "Take a look." Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat. "I call this game Fun in a Box," said the cat. "In this box are 2 things I will show to you now. You will like these 2 things," said the cat with a bow. "I will pick up the hook. You will see something new. 2 things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you. They want to have fun." Then out of the box came Thing 2 and thing 1. And they ran to us fast. They said, "How do you do? Would you like to shake hands with thing 1 and thing 2? And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with thing 1 and thing 2. We shook their 2 hands, but our fish said, "No, no, those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out, said the fish in the pot. "Have no fear, little fish," said the cat in the hat. "These things are good things." And he gave them a pat. "They are tame. Oh, so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet, wet, wet day. Now, here is a game that they like," said the cat. "They like to fly kites," said the cat in the hat. "No, not in the house," said the fish in the pot. "They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump. Oh, the things they will hit. Oh, do not like it. Not one little bit." Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those 2 things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump. Down the wall in the hall. Thing 2 and thing 1, they ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite, we saw Mother's new gown. Her gown with the dots that are pink, white and red. And then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about with big bumps, jumps and kicks, and with hops and big thumps and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, "I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, what she would say." Then our fish said, "Look, look!" And our fish shook with fear. "Your mother is on her way home. Do you hear? Oh, what she will do to us. Oh, what she will say. Oh, she will not like it to find us this way. So, do something fast," said the fish. "Do you hear? I saw her, your mother is near. So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You'll have to get rid of thing 1 and thing 2. So as fast as I could, I went after my net, and I said, "With my net I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net I can get those things yet." Then I let down my net. It came down with a plop, and I had them. At last, those 2 things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, "Now you do as I say. You pack up those things and you take them away." "Oh dear," said the cat. "You did not like our game? Oh dear, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame." Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. "That is good," said the fish. "He has gone away, yes. Oh, but your mother will come. She will find this big mess, and this mess is so big and so deep and so tall, we could not pick it up, and there is no way at all." And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat. "Have no fear of this mess," said the cat in the hat. "I always pick up all my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know." Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown, and the milk and the strings and the book and the dish and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish, and he put them away. Then he said, "That is that." And then he was gone, with the tip of his hat. Then our mother came in and she said to us 2, "Did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do?" And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now, what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you?